The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this, our online information session for the graduate programs of MSBM, Mona School of Business and Management, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm Janice Henlin, the Director of Marketing, and with me is my colleague, Dr. Lila Rowe Graham, who is the Deputy Executive Director. Later on, she will take you through the details of the program. And with us, we have a team of our colleagues. We have representatives from the accounting department, marketing department, and some of our program coordinators who will all be here to answer your questions. So welcome to all of you. We're going to start in a few moments, but we're just going to be waiting until we have some others joining us. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome. See Steffi and Ray, Sheldon Gray, Shamara Drummond. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this evening. You know, we have some persons who are joining us from the UK, so it's nearly bedtime. So we want to say thanks, especially for staying up to be with us. One of the things that we usually like to say to our attendees at these sessions, that we want to, from the very outset, express our thanks to you for taking the time to be with us, because we recognize that you have a choice. As they say in the airlines, you have a choice, and the fact that you decided to spend this afternoon with us, we appreciate that. We also want to congratulate you for taking this first step in finding out about our graduate programs as you seek to set your own career path on a trajectory for advancement, for promotion, and we applaud you for that. So in perhaps the next 2 seconds, we'll start with our presentation, but we just wanted to give some other persons a chance to benefit from what we believe will be a very meaningful session. We're just doing a little mic check here. Just indicate in the chat if you're hearing me properly, so we can be assured that everyone is hearing properly. Just indicate in the chat, and we will know who is hearing us and if you're hearing us properly. Chat. Hi, so thank you for responding. So I see most persons are, or everyone is hearing us quite well. So that's good to know. So here we are from the Mona School of Business and Management. And as you can see on your screen, we have the logo, we have forward thinking. We like to think of ourselves as being exactly that, forward thinking, that we are movers and shakers. We like to also think that we offer global knowledge and regional solutions. So our faculty is diverse, and though we are based in the Caribbean, we are located in Kingston, Jamaica. We also have a campus in Montego Bay. We are rooted, our faculty has international exposure and qualifications, and they are able to, so we are able to infuse in our programs the global solutions that we have from based on our faculty that we have. Right now, I just want to ask you, we want to know exactly where everyone is from just now. So we're going to do a little poll now to just ask you so we can know exactly where you're from. So the poll should be up now. We just ask you to respond. Which country are you from? Poll is open. We'll wait a few seconds and then we'll move on. So I see so far, most persons are from Jamaica. Nobody from the USA yet, 18% from other Caribbean islands. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to all of you. That's great to know. And just as I was mentioning before, that though we are located in Jamaica, that the exposure that you get through our programs allows you to be globally competitive wherever you are. So we've closed the poll just now. Let me share the results so you can see, everyone can see. So there we have it. Most people from Jamaica. Thank you all again. So our mission at MSBM to be an excellent, globally recognized business school rooted in the Caribbean. And our mission is to advance learning, create knowledge, and foster innovation for the positive transformation of Caribbean enterprises through the development of world-class business professionals and research-based solutions. Now that sounds like a mouthful, but essentially we want to, what we're saying, here we are rooted in the Caribbean, but we want to be globally recognized. And we are, in fact, based on some of the accreditations that we have. We want to advance learning and create knowledge, and innovation is very important to us. And ultimately, we want to develop world-class business professionals and offer research-based solutions to both organizations and individuals. So just a little about MSBM, and we refer to ourselves as MSBM. Remember, it's Mona School of Business and Management. We are the premier business school in the Caribbean. We offer primarily management education, both undergraduate and graduate programs. We also offer a suite of short courses for executive education and professional development, because we recognize there are some persons who are not ready to commit to a degree program, a 24-month or a 12-month program, but are interested in doing, say, a 6-week course, example, project management. In fact, the Project Management Institute has named MSBM as a regional education provider. We also like to talk about the research, which actually distinguishes us from other business schools in the region, in Jamaica, certainly, because we have a team of academics who are considered thought leaders and domain experts in their areas spanning business intelligence, family-owned businesses, organizational development. And we, in addition to that, we have 2 units, the Center of Excellence, which focuses on business intelligence and IT-enabled business solutions for primarily small businesses. And in fact, very recently, the school through the center was able to secure a grant from google.org, which focuses on offering digital literacy programs for marginalized youth. And that's something that we're very proud of. In fact, the program is not just limited to Jamaica, but is a regional program in 7 countries in the region. So again, those are some of the things we're proud of. We also have the professional services unit that offers the executive courses that I spoke about earlier. And that unit also offers sponsor research for industry and offers consultancy as well. As a school, we also are outward looking. And so in addition to doing the academics, we want to be to offer a forum where there can be discourse on matters that are of importance to business and industry. And so we have a series of public fora where we engage in partnership with corporates and NGOs so that we can discuss various topics. In fact, very recently, earlier this year, we had a forum looking at the pros and cons of 5G. We did that in association with the major telecoms, Digicel and Flow. And we also had the regulators from Spectrum coming to give their input as well. So we cherish that role of advocacy in the business sector. A little bit more about the professional services unit I mentioned earlier. And this slide really just gives some more details. And so I'm going to just focus on the list of some of the courses that we offer. Remember, I said these are short courses ranging from, say, 1 week to 6 weeks, and you get certification, and the major one being the project management course. But we also offer financial management, business communication, marketing and sales training, entrepreneurship and small business management, social development, human resources management, and a range of other programs. Over the years, the school has been awarded many accolades, of which we are very proud. And we are numbered among the top 1,000 business schools worldwide. And that's very significant and something that we cherish. The school, Mona School of Business and Management, is part of a wider university, the University of the West Indies. And for those outside of Jamaica, let me just let you know that the University of the West Indies has campuses in Trinidad and in Barbados. And so it's a regional university. And very recently, the UWI, the wider university, has been numbered among the top 4% universities worldwide. And that is very significant. And so as a student of MSBM, you will actually be part of a university that is among the top 4% universities worldwide. The other significant feature I want to mention, the MBA program, and later on I'll ask how many people are interested in which programs, but the MBA program is internationally accredited by AMBA. And AMBA is the Association of MBAs, which is located in the UK. And that again is very significant because that is an independent credential that we've gotten, which an AMBA, in fact, accredits the top 2% of MBAs worldwide. And so to be accredited by AMBA is really very significant. In fact, we've had this accreditation since 2011, and it has been renewed twice. And the last time it was renewed in 2017, we were renewed for 5 years, which is the maximum that is offered. So that is very significant. In addition to the MBA program, we offer several MSc programs, and later on, Dr. Graham will go through some of those programs, but several of those programs are numbered among the top 20 in Latin America. Again, very significant. In 2018, this also received the AMBA Innovation Award for our finance lab, which has Bloomberg terminals and very significant in this region. The school has also received credits and accolades from industry and the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. And for those outside of Jamaica, that's an industry organization made up of all the various private sector bodies, private sector organizations in Jamaica. And the school was recognized as the best of chamber for the small enterprise in 2015. And very significantly in 2019, the school was nominated again for this same award. And we're among the top 3 winners in the Project Management Organization of the Year in 2015. And we are a local partner for the World Economic Forum. So we collect the data for the organizations in Jamaica, which is sent back to Davos. And so the Global Competitiveness Survey, which is sent out annually across the globe, our school is a part of that. And I would have mentioned before that we are a registered provider of the Project Management Institute. This is just showing off, actually, that our MBA is accredited by AMBA. I mentioned that before, and we like to think that like a diamond, an MBA is forever, and the same kinds of attributes, brilliant and priceless, highest quality, and can stand the test of time. But as you can imagine, it's something that we're very, very proud of. Right now, you're seeing the images of some of our alumni, and I just want to pause here to say that we consider that one of the best things about the school is actually the fact that we have a set of distinguished alumni who are located all over the world, in fact, and are leaders and executives in many large corporations, and several of whom have also gone on to open their own businesses. So here we have a set of people. We have to the left, Jackie Sharp, who is a director of coffee traders. She has the distinction of being the first female head of Scotiabank in Jamaica. Beside her, Diana Blake Bennett, who is the head of Salada Foods Jamaica. Claire Grant beside her, who is the general manager of the largest TV station in Jamaica, TVJ. Beside her, Harry Smith, who is the first Jamaican chairman of Digicel, and in fact is one of our executives in residence. Beside him is Mr. Leighton McKnight, territory manager at PricewaterhouseCoopers. Beside him, Kevin Donaldson, who is the CEO of Sagicor Investments, one of the largest in Jamaica as well. Right now, I'm going to allow you to listen to some testimonials from some of our alum just to hear what they have said about the programs. And after that, we'll introduce Dr. Graham, who will speak to you some more. Okay, so you would have heard from some of our alum, enthusiastic, wouldn't you say? So we look forward to your time when you would have started with us and are able to speak as well about the school. Right now, we're just going to do a poll. We just want to know how you heard about the webinar. So if you could just answer, the poll will come up just now. Okay, so we'll give you a few seconds to just answer the question. Just want to know how you heard about the webinar. And right after that, Dr. Graham will speak to you with giving you the details about the programs and the program offerings and how you may apply, etc. So most people email from MSBM. We'll share the responses so everyone can see as well. But again, we just want to say thank you for taking the time to be with us, and hope that so far you have found it meaningful. So MSBM website, word of mouth, and that's always very good. And we encourage you to share with your friends and family about MSBM. The application deadline is the end of this month, March 30th, March 31st. So we ask, there's still time, so we encourage you to share the word. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome.
I just want to make sure that you're hearing me clearly. So just again, indicate with a yes, no, if all is well on your end in terms of the audio. Okay, so as I said, I just want to welcome you myself. I know Ms. Hendon already did that, but I really want to welcome you and really congratulate you for making the decision, at least in terms of the first step in pursuing your graduate education. It's a very important investment in yourself. And so again, congratulations. What I want to do now is just provide an overview of all the graduate programs we offer here at the Mona School of Business and Management. I know some of you have come for specific information, so I'll try to just provide a broad overview. And while we're going through that, what you can do is ask any questions in the window. We have a team, a large team here waiting to answer those questions. So we really want you to engage and let us know what information you want about particular programs as I go through this. So as mentioned, we have two campuses here in Jamaica. We have a Mona campus, which is situated in Kingston, and we have a Western Jamaica campus, which is in Montego Bay. At the Mona campus, we have a larger suite of programs. We have the MBA, an MSc in accounting, an MSc in computer-based information systems, MSc in corporate finance, MSc in enterprise risk management. That's a program we have jointly with the Department of Mathematics. We have some new programs that we've just relatively recently developed for the market, the demand in the market, and that's a logistics and supply chain management, marketing and data analytics, national security and strategic studies, and MSc in procurement management. At the Western campus, currently we offer only two, the MBA and MSc in accounting. And that's again is based on the demand. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about these programs, when they start, the structure, and the cost of these programs. So in terms of duration, most of our programs are delivered on a part-time basis, and this part-time basis is generally 24 months. Most of our students are working full-time at the same time as pursuing their graduate programs. There are a few of these programs that we do offer on a full-time basis. Basically the MSc in accounting, the National Security and Strategic Studies program, and the MSc in corporate finance. Those three programs can be done on a full-time basis. And just to note, full-time does not mean that you'll come all day for class. The classes will still be in evenings or on weekends, but it's just you'll be doing the load that you'll be carrying. The number of courses that you'll be doing at any point in time will differ than those of the part-time. So what are the entry requirements for these graduate programs? And just to point out that we at MSBM are a part of the larger University of the West Indies, and we abide by the regulations of the University of the West Indies. So they have some general requirements for all applicants and students of the graduate programs of the University of the West Indies. That requirement has to do with the GPA. So what they were considering is those students or applicants, I should say, with a GPA of 2.5 or higher. Now we recognize some of you, when you're in your undergrad, may not have been fully focused on studies and you had other competing priorities that could have affected your performance. So if you have close to the 2.5 but not quite the 2.5, then there will be some consideration based on your work experience and how you conduct yourself in an interview that you'll be called in for. So those are the general, as I said, the general base requirements for all graduate programs. In terms of specifics for particular programs, for the MBA, and this is a requirement of the AMBA, the international accreditation that Ms. Henlin spoke about, they require that all MBA students have at least 3 years postgraduate work experience. That means 3 years after you've graduated from your first degree. And as I said before, this is probably the most stringent requirement because it's a requirement from our international accreditation body. For the accounting program, they do require that you have a degree in accounting or a related field. For the corporate finance, you must have a course, not a full degree, but you must have been exposed to a course in financial management, whichever undergrad degree you have completed. The MSc in ERM, the Enterprise Risk Management, their GPA is slightly higher because they require their applicants to have a 3.0 GPA. And it should be from a quantitative discipline. This program is highly quantitative, so you must come in with some background in that area. For the information systems, the MSc in Information Systems, we also want you to come in with some work experience, not as much as the MBA, the minimum requirement that is, but we want you to have at least 2 years work experience. And most persons that come into this program either have a computer science background or a management background, and nowadays you see more coming in with a mix of the two. So those are what we're looking for in terms of background for the information systems students. And the national security, you should be at a mid-management level position in security or in some related field to security. And again, we're looking for persons with quite a bit of work experience. Most have about 10 years work experience. In terms of the delivery, how our programs are delivered, as you may know already, we are a face-to-face program currently. All our programs are delivered face-to-face, so it will require you coming to the campus. For the MBA program, we have two options. Either you can come 3 days a week, 3 evenings a week from 5:30 to 9, or you can do the Sunday option, which requires from 7:30 to 6 all day Sunday. And you cannot switch between the two options. Once you choose one of the options, either the evening or the Sunday, you can't go in between the two deliveries. Our Sunday program or Sunday offering is becoming quite popular because persons find it difficult sometimes to come in the evening after work with the family at home. So they prefer to just take the full day Sunday and come to the campus. And just to point out that it will require other group activities outside of these times. For the MBA Western Campus, you'll be required to come to the campus alternate Saturdays and Sundays. So but one weekend will be, and weekend will be. It is no choice of one or the other. For the accounting program, if you are doing it at Mona campus and you're doing it part-time, then you'll be required to come 4 evenings a week. And for those that are doing full-time, you have to be available to come in the day, for classes will be conducted in the day for the full-time accounting program. At Western Campus, this program is delivered only on Sundays. The CBMIS is evenings and Saturday. So not or, you won't have one, it's not two different deliveries, but you'll be required to come 2 evenings in the week plus all day Saturday. We know some of you for religious reasons find Saturday difficult, but based on the demand on the resources, that is the time that we are currently delivering those programs. The MSc and ERM, again, is evening classes, no weekends required, and the national security is also in the evenings. Remember, I said the national security has both a full-time and a part-time offering. So if you're doing it full-time, it'll be 4 evenings a week, and if you're doing it part-time, it'll be 2 evenings a week. There's something incorrect on that slide, so just note part-time is 2 evenings, whereas full-time is 4 evenings. The corporate finance, that's another one of our programs that has both a full-time and a part-time offering. So those of you who are interested in coming part-time, again, this will be all day Sunday. The same as the MBA from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And for those of you that are interested in the full-time, you will also be required to come. That's in addition, you'll also be required to come on a Wednesday morning. Please note that's AM, not PM, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Again, we're trying to facilitate persons that are working, and we're finding that people prefer to come in the morning and then head to work rather than to come after work. The logistics, supply chain management, the marketing and data analytics, and the procurement are all delivered on Sundays, again from 7:30 to 6 p.m. Just to explain a little bit how the MBA delivery is structured, as I said, it is a part-time program. It is a 24-month delivery. I had mentioned that we have 2 options at Mona. It's on Sundays or 3 evenings per week, or at Western Campus in Montego Bay, alternate Saturdays and Sundays. How the program delivered is really what we call the ICE approach, which is 3 phases. In the first phase, we call the immersion phase. And in that first month of the program, you'll be introduced to some soft and basic skills. What we have recognized is that many of you might have been out of the classroom for a while, and we don't want to throw you into the deep end. So we start slowly, but it is quite intensive in that you'll be coming for the first month on both in the evenings and on Sunday. So whichever of the options you're choosing during this first month will require you to come both in the evening and on Sunday. Once you finish that immersion month, then you go back to your 2 options, whether Sunday or the evening. And during that time, you'll be doing the core modules of the program. If you want more information about what those modules entail, then those brochures can be obtained from our website. So you'll be doing those courses, and you'll choose one of a number of concentrations that we offer within the MBA program. And at that time, you do 4 courses to make a concentration. And then during that concentration period, though, I must point out that the Sunday group and the evening group is back together again. And therefore, even if you've chosen the Sunday option, you will be required to come in the evenings during that concentration period. And the final component of this program is a field project in which you go out and solve a real world problem for our organization. We've partnered with a number of organizations to offer these opportunities for you. So although we know that you're working, we actually also provide you with a field project, which is really the idea is to synthesize the knowledge you've gained from all the courses of the program up to this point. Okay, what we're going to do now is just take a few questions. There's quite a few questions coming in. So Ms. Henlin is going to try to answer some of the common questions so everybody gets the feedback at one time.
Thank you very much, Lila. So thank you all for the questions. We're trying to answer them. So I just want to highlight some so that some persons many other persons can benefit. So Napier, McClary, I see you're asking about having 10 years work experience, but it has only been 1 year since you acquired your bachelor's. If you're referring to an interest in the MBA program, then unfortunately the accreditors are pretty strict about the need for at least 3 years work experience after your bachelor's degree. We've had many discussions with them about the cultural nuances of Jamaica, where many persons actually work before doing their first degree, but that's actually the standard that they have, and so we've had to stick with that. So let me just reiterate, the 3 years work experience for the MBA means 3 years after completing your first degree. So that's that. Then some persons were asking about the MBM. The MBM, as you know, is for persons in fact, the MBM, we offered that so that persons who didn't have the 3 years work experience could still do a graduate management degree. But we're reviewing that program, and so we won't be offering it for this upcoming academic year. Then there's a question about if the MBA program will help with a career in business analysis. And pretty much the MBA is a general enough management degree that it offers you the foundation now to assume several different kinds of careers. In fact, we have had doctors who have come to do the program, lawyers who have come to do the program, engineers who have come to do the program, and people who, having finished, do a range of careers or even start their own businesses. But it's interesting that you've asked about a career in business analysis, because in fact, over the last 2 or 3 years, we've revised the curriculum, and there is now a compulsory business analytics course, so that you will in fact get exposed to that. And then in addition to that, one of the concentrations is in MIS, where you will further hone those skills. So the truth is, the MBA opens the door to a range of possibilities. So Jade, that's the answer for that. Several people are asking about fees, and when Dr. Graham will resume and kind of just go through some of the fees, so that, and just to know too, that the fees are on our website, and also that we will be sending a copy of this webinar to all the participants. So don't worry at all. So Dr. Graham will resume and talk some more about the fees project and also the fees.
Okay, so as Ms. Henlin pointed out, we do have a field project, which I spoke about. All the programs, both the MBA and MSCs, has some component of a field project. As I said before, the idea of these field projects is that we have you have an opportunity to really apply the skills, the knowledge that you've gained throughout the program to solve a real world problem. And as I said, we've partnered with a number of local organizations that have really come to us and said they want our students to solve these problems. And we put groups of students on them, and we've had very good results so far. So that's a field project component. What we want to do now is take a poll and really to get a feel of how many of you are at the early stages just thinking about it, or whether you're far down the wicket and have actually submitted those application forms. So I want to get that information from you, and so we're going to have you do that poll. Okay, so quite a few are at the early stages, still getting the information from us before you get those applications in. So we're looking forward to those numbers changing significantly after today's information session. And just to note that it is an online application process, and we want you to start that process. You may not have gotten all the documents that you need to complete the process, but we want to ensure that you start that process because the applications will close at the end of March. And so we want to ensure that we can give you that offer as early as possible. Thank you. Okay, so the all-important question of how are you going to pay for this degree? And we recognize it is a significant investment, and we're here to guide you along the way. We have some options for you, and I'll try to provide an overview of these, and then the team will give you further information if needed. So this here is an overview of the tuition fees for each of the programs. As Ms. Henlin said, this information is available on our website, and the prices of the various programs you can get from that document. In addition to these program fees, there's also, so for the MBA, that program is for the entire duration of the program, $16,000 US. The enterprise risk management is $12,000 US. MSc accounting, $10,000 US. The masters in information systems, $8,000. Both the corporate finance, logistics and supply chain, and the marketing and data analytics and procurement management are all $10,000 each US. And the national security and strategic studies is $8,000 US. We do have a DBA, a doctorate in business administration, that you'd see there. It's significantly higher. It is a much longer term program. You do a dissertation, so it is at least a 5 to 6 year program that you'd be engaged in, and we offer it every other year. So it's not, the DBA is not offered on an annual basis. So in addition to those fees, there's also what we call a miscellaneous fee that the University of the West Indies offers. I think it covers things like medical insurance and some other expenses, and that fee is 16,610 Jamaican dollars. As I said, the breakdown of how it can be paid over the various semesters or terms is highlighted in the tuition document that is available on the website. So it doesn't require you paying all of it at once or at the front end of the program. In terms of support that we have for you in terms of paying those fees or getting a loan to pay those fees, we do have arrangements with a number of financial partners. So they do offer some education loans, and you could contact them directly to get some further information in terms of the specifics of the loans that they do offer. There is one I want to just mention, that is a loan that's offered through JMMB. And we want to mention this one specifically because it was designed by one of our past students. He recognized the need for a loan that's suited for our graduate type student. And so this loan was developed or designed for our needs in mind. So that the features of this loan is that it's maximum unsecured, 5,200,000 Jamaican dollars, which is approximately 40,000 US, which is actually the fee of the highest, the DBA program. Its financing is up to 100%, and you have a maximum term of 7 years. The interest rate is 12%. And so you see that it's quite competitive. In terms of the benefits that is offered, it's flexible in how it's dispersed, and you pay only as you draw on it. So those are the benefits. As I said before, if you want further details about that loan arrangement with JMMB in particular, we have a number of contact information across the island that you can follow up with to get further information. As we had mentioned, this presentation will be shared with you after the webinar is completed, and so you can get those contact information from the presentation itself. So in terms of the application, as I say, most of you have not applied for our program. You can get further information about the particular program. We have brochures on all our graduate programs on the website, and we have catalogs which detail the courses that make up each of these programs. And as I said before, we also have a financial breakdown, how you have to pay for the program over the duration of the program. And thirdly, we have what we call an application guide, which helps or provides some supporting information to make the application process as seamless as possible. I just want you to note, though, that we cannot process your application until it is complete. And what makes it complete is just not the online portion, but also that you provide the supporting documents, which include the references. We need at least one of those to be in before the graduate studies will allow us to process it, but we also need your transcript. If you are a UE graduate, you don't need to bring in your transcript because it's already in the system. But for those of you that need to bring in your transcript, we ask you to bring it into the school to MSBM, and we'll send it over to graduate studies to ensure that it's processed as quickly as possible. We know that many of you can't apply for the loan without the offer for the program. So we want to ensure, and we'll do everything we can to ensure that that application is processed as quickly as is possible. So here's the site that you go to apply. And as I mentioned before, the application deadline is March 31st, 2020. Just to note that all our programs start officially in September, which is official start of UE academic year. But for those of you that are going to start the MBA program, you will be required to start in August, because as I spoke about, we have a foundation period that will start in August. So the MBA will start in August, and all other programs will start at the beginning of September. So we really want to encourage you to apply. We look forward to hearing from you. And if you have any questions, our team will be here for a while after we close officially. This webinar will stay online for a while to try to answer as many of the questions as is possible. So I'll hand you back over to Ms. Henley.
So once again, everyone, thank you so much. And as we said, we will be around for a little while to answer the questions. Thank you for the high level of engagement. Many persons are asking questions. I'll just mention some more again, just so we have the team here, as I said, who is answering. But I just want to mention some persons there's a question about switching career. Been in the classroom for over 5 years, want to switch career. What are my options because I don't have any business experience? And thank you for that question. For the MBA, I want to just mention too that, in fact, for all the programs, we do conduct interviews for certain applicants. It's not compulsory. Everybody doesn't need to be interviewed, but we do for certain persons. And the categories include, as you've said, for example, your background is in education, you have no business background, but you perhaps want to do an MBA. But we don't immediately say, oh, you're not eligible for that. We do invite you in for an interview to have a talk with you. For some persons, it means they may have to do some qualifying courses, but there are people I've mentioned before. We've had doctors and lawyers, etc., who have successfully done the degree. So it's not a no, but we would invite you in for an interview to do that. Then there are persons who are asking about lower GPA than that which we have mentioned. Again, we invite persons in for an interview, and one of the considerations that we have is the fact that many times persons who are doing their undergraduate degrees become distracted by one thing or another. Might just be carnival. But we don't, we believe that an opportunity should be given. And so again, persons who have a lower GPA than we require, but who have substantial work experience and who perhaps may have other kinds of certifications. Because there are persons who, yes, the GPA is low for the degree, but over time they have done some other kinds of studies. Again, we look at all of that plus the work experience and invite you in for an interview so that we can assess your level of commitment, your level of maturity, because we do believe that people can be given another chance to do well. So then there are questions about MSc versus MBA. And the MSc, often persons who want specialized training. Let's say, for example, a person the option is to do an MBA specializing in finance or to do an MSc in corporate finance. The persons who, based on their own career goals and want a depth and specialized knowledge, would opt to do the corporate finance. Whereas a person doing the MBA might be interested in general management, but wants to have a grasp on finance, then those are the choices that people make. But we encourage you to also call, email, come in and talk to us so that we can have a sense of your career goals and therefore may be able to guide you about particular questions that you may have. Because it's very important that that is done. And just to also mention that while you're a student here as well, there's a facility for academic advising, because again, that's very important, that we provide a forum where persons can get some kind of counseling as to what exactly you may want to do. So there is that as well. One of the I mentioned earlier when I was introducing the alumni, there was Mr. Harry Smith, and I mentioned him as an executive in residence. And I just want to mention that program that we have 2 executives in residence. One is Mr. Harry Smith, a former executive with Digicel, now chairman. The other is Mr. James Moss Solomon, a former executive with Grace Kennedy. And the idea behind this program is that we have these 2 persons, and it could go up over time, but these are people who have years of experience in industry and make themselves available to our students to assist them again with the same kind of career counseling. They sometimes do guest lecturing, and very importantly, they are able to provide a network into colleagues in their sphere in the business community. So we found that to be a very useful component of our programs. And in fact, our accreditors and external examiners have alluded to the fact that this is very significant and the value that it brings to our program. So that's something that we also want to mention as well. And just in terms of the other areas of the school, we also have we manage a venture program, venture competition for our students, so that if you have a business idea, that you can actually get mentorship through a specialized program and to bring that business idea to fruition. And the campus has other facilities and incubator, etc., so that we encourage persons to think about their own businesses. And the school is very big on innovation and entrepreneurship. And so there is that aspect as well. The school, as a member of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce and the PSOJ, also has access to networking opportunities with businesses. And oftentimes, many of these companies contact us when they have job vacancies, so that in a real sense, we are the point of call when these organizations want to get suitable candidates for jobs, that many times rather than, or in addition to advertising publicly, that they will contact us to get references. And we often are able, through our database of alumni and students, to make references to these organizations. So that's also another value added to being a part of the MSBM family. So we continue with the questions, and I'll just take a break while you continue the questions, but we're still here with you. So we noticed that in some of the questions, the persons are not specifying which program they're asking about. We just ask that you do that to just help us in the responses. So if you're asking specifically about the MBA, to just indicate, or the MSc program, so you can just indicate. I see Tianet is asking about information about some of the short programs that we mentioned. Again, that's on our website. And once we send the slides to you, you'll also have that information. But so on our websites that you can look under executive education, and you'll see the schedule of some of the courses, because some of the courses are regularly scheduled. And then we also offer customized programs as well. So you may be working in an organization and you want some specific training for, say, your sales reps, then we are able to come in and meet with you and design a program specifically for them as well. So we're still around answering the questions. I'm just trying to mention the. So there, again, there's a recurring question about persons who don't have a business background. And remember, I have said that still apply. Very likely you'll be called in for an interview. Hello, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. So we're going to be closing the session now officially, but we'll be around until 6:30. So please continue to send in your questions and we'll be responding. And remember, we will be sending the presentation to you, so you'll have all that we've sent, and we will include some useful links so that you'll be able to access the website, etc., to get the information about financing. If there's anybody in Montego Bay, we'll be in Montego Bay on March 15th at the Western Jamaica campus for a face-to-face information session. So if you prefer, you can also join us there. But it has been our pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Thank you again for choosing MSBM, for spending the time with us, for your questions, and we promise that we'll answer all of them. So thank you again. And remember, you can keep asking your questions up until 6:30. We have the team here ready and willing to answer. So thank you, and we look forward to welcoming you MSBM.